It is more costly to try to DIY your job search and your career development than hiring help and actually getting results. I'm Ashley. I'm the lead mentor in Mentor Me, and today I'm going to talk about the hidden cost of not hiring a career coach. And it's real. Quite honestly, time and time again, professional women find themselves trying to DIY their job search. They've been job searching on their own for weeks, for months, sometimes for years before coming with me. And they feel so frustrated and so defeated because they're not getting results. They're applying for hundreds of jobs. Maybe they're going on a few interviews, but they're not getting offers. And if they are getting offers, they're lowball offers that are not aligned with their immense expertise. And they find that employers are not willing to pay them for the value of their expertise. And this means that they're wasting time and money trying to find and secure a job alone without little strategy or without insight on how the labor market truly works. When you hire a career coach, when you get help in your career, expert level help, you get results. And you could be leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table trying to DIY. But the cost of not hiring a career coach isn't just the amount of lost wages from not actually earning more money, although that is a big way that you're losing money. But there's a lot of other hidden costs that you may not be thinking about that I want to hip you to. I've been a career coach for nearly 5 years, and I've helped my mentees earn more than $1.5 million in salary increases, raises, and bonuses. And I know what it costs women to not work with me. I know the frustration and the anger and the disappointment and the disillusionment and the depression that they often fall into when they've been job searching for weeks, months, maybe even years and not getting results. And so I'm going to talk about 3 specific hidden costs to not hiring a career coach and just ask you the true question of, is it worth it, right? Is it worth it to not get help? Can you afford to keep doing it by yourself? Like, can you afford to not get the $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $80,000 salary increase that you desire and that you deserve at this point in your career? Can you afford to be making so little money, right? Can you afford the depression and the anxiety and the stress of staying in a job that you've outgrown, right? Can you afford that? And the answer to that question is often no, right? And let me know, just throw some hearts up on the screen if it's no for you too. If you're like, Ashley, I actually can't afford to keep trying to do this on my own and not getting results. If that's where you are, then you're in the right place for this conversation, because I'm going to talk about some of the costs that you might not even be thinking of, that you might not even be aware of, and really talk about what it's costing you to not get help. So the first cost that I want to talk about is this idea of increased imposter syndrome, increased feelings of imposter syndrome. One of the things that I know is true is that the women that I work with are so capable. They're so smart. Their degrees, the credentials, the certifications, the years of experience, the deep wealth of knowledge that they have is immense. But when you are on what feels like a never-ending job search, I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care how good you are at your job. You start to second guess and question yourself just because you feel like nobody wants you. Nobody wants to talk to you about your expertise. Nobody wants to hire you. Nobody's calling you in for interviews. Nobody's, giving you a chance, right? And so what often happens, even for professional women who have years of experience and have degrees and have credentials, is that they start to second guess themselves. They start to question themselves. This feeling of like, am I good enough? Do I belong in this industry? Do I have what it takes? All those questions start to really come up. And they start to just get really stressed out if the skills, the knowledge, the talent, the expertise that they have is valuable, right? And let me know if that's something you can relate to. Like, throw a heart up on the screen or just let me know, yes, sis, I can relate. What often happens when you don't have a career coach who can pour into you, who can help you understand the value of your expertise, not just in your current industry, but in other industries. When you don't have a career coach who can help point out to you the exact industries where you could be making more money, where you could have more impact, where you actually could get the interview and get the offer. When you don't have that coaching from a career coach, what actually ends up happening is that you begin in your mind to devalue your expertise, right? You let the fact that you didn't hear back from a job have you questioning your value and your worth and your worthiness, right? And so you start to be like, well, maybe I do need to go back to school and get another degree. Maybe I do need to, try, to be an entrepreneur and sell soap on the internet. Maybe I do need, like, you start to second guess and question everything, right? And I see this happen again and again and again to professional women. I'll get on a call with a woman and she has a master's degree in her field and has been working in the field 5, 7, 10, 15 years. And she really starts to like question herself, like, well, I'm not getting any interviews and I'm not getting any callbacks. So maybe I do need to go get another degree. Maybe I do need to take this LinkedIn learning course. Maybe I do need to do this and do that. Right. And I just think that it just catches women up, right? They get so frustrated and so nervous about how they can advance in their career. And that is a cost, right? You second guessing yourself, you being unsure of yourself, you being weary of what your degrees and credentials and certifications can actually do for you. That's a high cost, because it takes a lot of career confidence to find and secure a new role. You cannot go into an interview and be unsure, because if you're unsure of yourself in an interview, the employer is going to be unsure of you as a candidate, as their top candidate. So you can't afford to be unsure, uncertain, scared, nervous, not sort of put together, right? But the truth is that you simply cannot afford to, be second guessing yourself, not at this stage in your career, not after you've been job searching for weeks, months, and years, right? And the cost of not hiring a career coach is that you're doing it alone. You're going at it alone. You're unsure, you're uncertain, and you don't have anyone to sort of pour into you and pour back to you the immense value of your expertise. And often what I see is that professional women end up going into a downward spiral, right? And just raise your hand if you've ever been in that shame spiral, that depression spiral where you're like, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I just need to quit my job and start over. Maybe I just need to stay in this job forever. I'll never get out of here. I'll never find a new industry. Nobody wants me. You start to go in this negative spiral, never fully seeing the impact of your expertise. So this is something that I see quite often. So we're talking about the hidden cost of not hiring a career coach. And I think the biggest one is that shame spiral, that downward spiral that women see when they don't have a career coach and they don't have someone who's pouring into them and giving them strategy and insight to advance their career. The second hidden cost of not hiring a career coach is that you often can flatline your career trajectory. And let me give you an example. Oftentimes when professional women are like, I'm fed up at my current job, I want to make more money, I want to have more impact, I want to do different work, they, go out and they look for new opportunities. But what happens is because they don't recognize the value of their expertise, or because they don't know enough about their industry or a new industry that they're going into, they will often make lateral moves, right? They're not moving up in their industry. They're not moving up in the kinds of jobs they're taking. They're moving across. They're like kind of moving like this. And this ends up being a flatlining of your career trajectory. Instead of your career trajectory going like this, or even going like this, right? Your career trajectory starts to go like this. It starts to flatline because you're not going after higher level, higher impact roles. And this happens when you're job searching, and because you aren't aware of your expertise, you start to take on the same type of jobs. You think, well, I don't want to face rejection. I don't want to go after jobs where I won't hear back. So I'll just apply for a job that I know I can do. I'll just apply for a job that I already have, meet all the qualifications, right? Instead of recognizing that you really only need to meet 70% of the qualifications to be a top candidate for any role, you think, oh my goodness, I need to meet 100% of these qualifications. So you go out and you literally apply only for jobs for which you meet 100% of the qualifications, which means that you're flatlining your career trajectory because your career is only going to go as high as your current skill set. What's true is that you want your career to kind of be a step ladder, right? Always going up, but a step ladder that's kind of rising just a bit above your skill set. So as your skill set rises, you go for positions that are just above your skill set. As you learn new skills, then you go for your next position that's just a bit above your current skill set, and you rise to that and you go again, right? It should be a step ladder. But a lot of your careers are flatlining because you don't have a career coach, which means that you're staying in the same income bracket, and you are staying in a job. You've been in a job for 7 years where you're only getting 3% merit increases every year, 5% merit increases every year, if that. Right? My mentees regularly see $30,000 salary increases after working with me for just 3 months. Right? You haven't seen $30,000 in increases, and you've been working there for 7 years. Right? You cannot afford to stay in a job for 7 years only making 3% annual increases, especially not when so many of you are going above and beyond the call of duty in your work, when so many of you are exceeding expectations in your role, right? So we really want to make sure that we are no longer just kind of sitting in roles that are not paying us at the level that we desire. And the hidden cost of not hiring a career coach is that you will often flatline your career, right? You won't go after higher level, higher impact, higher level positions because of fear or anxiety or stress or, feelings of unworthiness, which can actually have you stuck in a salary range and a salary bracket that's beneath your skill set. So again, we're talking about the hidden costs of not hiring a career coach. Of course, you can think that, one of the biggest hidden costs is just not securing higher level salaries over the course of your career, but also, increased feelings of imposter syndrome or unworthiness. Flatlining your career trajectory is another sort of hidden cost of not hiring a career coach. And the third hidden cost of not hiring a career coach that we're going to talk about is strained relationships. So strained relationships. So this is something that I often see from professional women who have recognized the value of mentorship, right? So maybe you've recognized the value of mentorship. You recognize that, connecting with, professionals in your field who maybe are higher levels than you, who know more than you, who maybe work at different institutions or different organizations than you. Maybe you're a part of a professional organization and you recognize the value of mentorship. And maybe you've asked someone to mentor you. You've asked someone to pour into you. You've asked someone to coach you. But maybe it's your supervisor, right? You have a supervisor, you have a boss, and you see them as someone who you respect and who you value, and you've asked them to coach you, to support you as you advance your career. And often what I've seen happen is when those people aren't actually prepared to be a coach, when those people aren't actually prepared to be a mentor, it can often strain the relationship, because when you said, "Can you mentor me?" you thought, okay, they're going to give me regular meetings and they're going to have a mentorship plan for me, and they're going to sit me down and talk to me about the industry and how to advance and what I need to do, and give me insight and give me strategy and give me insider tips and, speak my name in rooms. And, you thought they were going to do all of these things for your career. And then you didn't see any of those results. And now you have a strained relationship with that person because the promises that they made to you haven't yielded real results, right? So again, the hidden cost of not hiring a career coach is that you treat other people in your life like a career coach, and then you don't get results, and that strains the relationship, right? You find yourself constantly complaining to your spouse about how you hate your job and how you hate your coworkers and how no one listens to you. And now you and your partner are getting into fights every night because they're like, if you don't like the job, find a new one. And you're like, I can't find a new one. And right, it's a fight every night, right? Now you're strained. Now your relationship is strained, and you're frustrated with your partner because you don't feel like they understand, and they're frustrated with you because they feel like you're just simply complaining about something and not doing anything about it, right? Your relationship is strained with your girlfriends because you're no fun to be around. Every time you guys go out, you're complaining, well, I can't afford to do this and I can't afford to do that, and I can't take off this week and I can't take off that week, and I can't go on the trip, right? And so everybody's like, yeah, she never likes to hang out anymore. She's never any fun. She's never around, right? So now you've strained your relationship with all of your friends because you are unhappy at work, because you're not earning enough money at work, because your work doesn't allow you the flexibility and autonomy to take off 2 or 3 days so you can go on a long weekend with girlfriends, right? So now all of your relationships are strained because of your work, right? That's a real cost. Is your job that you don't even like worth ruining your marriage? Is the job that you don't even like worth missing out on spending time with your friends and their family? Is it really worth that, right? And I think that that's an important question to ask yourself. And if the answer is no, then you're ruining your relationships for literally nothing. There are real costs to not hiring a career coach. And of course, if you see me on the internet, I love to scream, she got the job, she got the job, she got the job, and talk about my mentees' amazing salary increases. I'm so proud of the results that they drive. But there are other results when my mentees work with me. They feel confident and empowered by the work that we do together because they're getting results. They see upward mobility in their career trajectory because we're seeking higher level, higher impact roles. And they're able to have positive and healthy relationships with other people in their life because they're not burdening those people with the stress and anxiety of working in a job that no longer serves them. If you are a professional who can't afford to stay in a job that's no longer serving you, if you're a professional who can't afford to stay in a job that's not paying you at the level that you desire or you deserve, if you can no longer afford to stay in a job that's hurting you and your relationships, then now is the time to invest in career coaching. When you invest with me as a career coach, you'll get access to work with me regularly, weekly on a career development strategy that's designed specifically for you. We'll build out that strategy together, and every single week I'll walk alongside you as I coach you and help you implement strategy to help you secure a minimum of a $30,000 salary increase in a higher level and higher impact role. So if that's a priority for you, if you know you need to make more money and have more impact, then now is the time to invest in career coaching. Why? Because you can't afford not to. Thanks so much for watching. See you on our call. Bye.